How do you go about choosing the right referees to give?
You need to give a happy customer. So they don't even know, because now if COVID has taught us anything, is to be versatile. So some people will know you as a recruiter, others know you
as a HR
consultant, others know you because you offer payroll services. You just wait, I show you how Kama serves it cold, you know?
Yeah. So you always want to put the referees who have, who can speak to your abilities. That's very key. It's really important for you to be an extra miler. It's really important that you even document some of your achievements, because if you go to work and you're on autopilot from Monday to Friday, when we ask you what is your value proposition, you don't have any. And then the other thing, Wams, I want us to talk about is the referees. What are some of the things?
Dicey there.
Yeah, what are some of the things that you need to consider? Because then after the interview, if they like you and they want to go ahead, they're going to ask you for a list of referees.
Yes.
How do you go about that? How do you go about choosing the right referees to give?
Okay. It's so important for you to think through who your refs are. Some names may sound really good to have on your CV, but may work against you because you don't know what relationship they have with this client, right? So it's important for you, when you're at that stage of applying, to talk to the people you have selected. Whether it's a line manager who you know would genuinely give a recommendation about you, and will even highlight, these are the areas I feel this person can do better. Right? Not one who's coming out to just be malicious, but one who's honestly wanting better for you. You can even look at maybe perhaps the head of the organization. If you are in a place where you are reporting directly into them, maybe they, the organization could be large and they don't know you. So you need to find out that. It could also be a peer. You can also give a peer as your referee. But I always say, and I learned this one from a very good friend of mine, and he explains it very well. He says, you need to give a happy customer as your referee. Always think through, because a happy customer does things for you. A happy customer is able to say, this person has been able to do 1, 2, 3 for me. This person has been able to de-escalate a scenario, or they were able to provide me with a supply that I needed at crunch time, so they can talk to other competencies about you that may not necessarily come out from your line manager. So consider a different set of all these three. Consider a different set of your line manager. Maybe have 2 or 3 people you've talked to, right? I'm thinking of moving in confidence. I'm thinking of transferring, and I'm at an interview stage where they're about to contact you. This is the CV I have used. Share that CV with your referees. Let them know that this is the job that you are applying for, because they could have known you from 5 years before.
We have seen things, let me tell you.
And then you get a phone call and the person has no idea who you
is
are.
That?
They don't even know.
It's just because you didn't send the CV. Or you have like 57 different types of CVs. One is like this.
So they don't even know, because now if COVID has taught us anything, is to be versatile. So some people will know you as a recruiter, others know you
as a HR
consultant, others know you because you offer payroll services. So when I call them to ask them about June, because she does interview, they're like,
she does interviews.
In fact, I don't know. So you're left now. Am I sure I called the right person? How's about you as the candidate, you who's been interviewed, when you're giving your referees, give the correct email address. Avoid giving cell phones until you're at a later stage, so that I have the right of response as your referee. And also remember, the onus is on you, the candidate, to have updated your referee with the correct email, the correct CV and the correct JD, and let them know, heads up, you will be getting a call from June because she's doing a reference for me because I want to work for Wamaida Karanja. Right? So that person has a clear picture, and they will set aside time for you to respond to that person.
Because I think candidates normally mess up. They just send names, they'll not bother contacting the referee,
and the referee has no idea. Right? And then also, where I'm saying keep a different set of referees as possible, is because you may have conflict with that organization.
In fact, that's the reason why you should never put referees on your CV unless they insist.
Until they ask you.
Because
just say available upon request.
Because I'll put you Wams, and then I step on you,
Yes.
then I'll be your enemies.
And then tomorrow, or the
The
tender
CV is already-
I had put in, my tender went through and yours didn't go through.
Yeah.
So now I know you undercut me to get that tender.
No, we are
so
enemies.
you think I'm going to be talking very nicely about
Yeah.
this company? No.
Meanwhile, my CV is somewhere with your name is the first one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking and I'm saying,
Wait.
you just wait, I show you how karma serves it
Yeah.
cold, you know. But it's important for you to think through, because there's so many other dynamics that are going on.
Yeah.
Maybe that person even you never know.
They had a bad day.
Yes. And just
something
because
happened.
perhaps, you know, there are people who went to your group of schools who believe the fact that they put someone who was in
those schools, other people didn't go to high school.
You know, you're like, Allah, what is it? And then the person doesn't know anything else about you. But just because you're a CEO somewhere, we were in the same high school, I've put your name.
Yeah. Actually,
I don't know you.
Yeah.
Think through what you're doing, because this is an additional part of your interview that is very critical. Employee risk assessment is very key.
Right.
And companies take it very seriously. Besides doing your reference check, they also do informal industry checks, right? Where they cannot quote what they had, but it makes a difference in the decision making. Because somebody will tell you on the side, okay, you know, if you're hiring that chick, she normally asks candidates for money. So you be aware, right? But the person doesn't say anything on the formal sheet. So you, when you read it, you just take at face value, right? So it's so important to have the knowledge that employee risk assessment is key. It's key.
Yeah. Guys, this is such an important part of interviewing that we are really stressing, because I have seen so many candidates not getting the job because your reference check came back negative,
it didn't pan
or
out.
we tried to call the referees, no one was picking up, no one is responding. So it means it could be that you did not go the extra step of contacting them and letting them know. There's also something else that you like saying, that have many.
Multiple.
Yeah, don't have like just 3
referees,
or 4. Actually have like 6. And also,
and you can cherry pick depending on your audience.
Exactly.
Who are you applying to?
Yeah.
And what role? Yeah.
So that then now you'll decide these 3 for for this particular organization. For this one, maybe I will not pick this person. And then if they're going to be called, also ensure there are people who can speak to your abilities, because then there are people who are just not able to. They're a good referee, but they'll have nothing to say, as opposed to like maybe you, because I think you're a HR, you'll probably have more to say.
Yeah.
So you always want to put the referees who'll have, who can speak to your abilities. That's very key.
It's very key, and it can only happen if you are in contact with your referees,
Right.
letting them know, one, I'm applying for a position at Wamaitha Karanjas, right? Kindly remember, this is the position I'm applying for. Because you could have recareered from the time you were in touch with this person.
Yeah.
Let them know that this is the type of feedback I want you to relay to the company. I'm not straitjacketing you, but I'm letting you know they are considering me because of my interviewing ability, because of my recruiter skills. So answer within that area, because that's how you know me. And then I'll relay the information.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Wamaitha, in closing, what are some tips and tricks that you can give anyone listening, especially when they're answering that second part of the interview, which is normally very heavy? That the panelists are trying to pick out what are your soft skills, what is your value, why what's your unique competitive advantage. Why does the organization need you? What are some of the tips and tricks that you'd give anyone listening when they're handling that second part of the interview?
Okay. In addition to everything else we've said, remember to try and understand how you answer the hiring manager's need. How are you an answer to them? How are you a direct response to their need?
Right.
If you dial 911, you are expecting, if you dial 999, you are expecting a response from the cops.
Yeah. If you have a headache, you'll take a Panadol.
Exactly.
How are you the Panadol?
How are you the Panadol for this organization? How are you coming and showing them that my skills from XYZ companies that I have worked applies to you people? and this is how I'm going to do it because I have done it before in this manner. It's so important for you to remember that.
Right.
And you can only know that if you self-internalize and ask yourself those questions.
Right.
Look at your achievements and then now articulate them to the client.
Right.
Yeah.
Guys, I hope one of the things that you're picking out is if you're currently working, even if you don't like that organization, it's really important for you to be an extra miler. It's really important that you even document some of your achievements, because if you go to work and you're on autopilot from Monday to Friday, when we ask you what is your value proposition, you don't have any, because you've been on autopilot for like the past 6 months. Like you're in that organization, uko tu, like if there was like a retrenchment or something like that, you log in at 8, by like 4:45 you are out.
Yeah.
You're going to struggle during interviews because you have nothing to say. So being an extra miler, documenting your achievements is going to be really important when you go for interviews. Also, the other thing or the other trick I'd want to give you, print out the JD. In fact,
yes, my
recommendation always is when you see a job posting, copy paste that JD somewhere, because sometimes they disappear.
Yes, that's true. It's taken down.
Yeah. So by the time you're going for the interview, you don't have a JD. So always copy paste. Have a folder on your laptop that it's just JDs of all these places that you've applied, to. Print out that JD. For each and every responsibility, I want you to think about something that you have done in your previous
how
work.
does it relate to your experience?
Exactly.
And how have you solved that issue?
Exactly, that particular responsibility. So you're structuring that answer in terms of like some background, what you talked about earlier, the STAR method, the situation, the action that you took, and the result for each and every responsibility. So that by the time you're going for the interview, you've already internalized that JD.
Yeah, you've studied completely
exactly
what they're looking for and the skills you possess.
Exactly.
How do they match?
Yeah, how do they align?
Yeah.
So it's going to be very impossible for them to ask you any question and you're not able to answer if you do that exercise, because also what is going to happen when you're writing these things down, that information gets transferred to your short-term memory. So maybe you're not going to remember 100%, but surely you're going to remember 70%.
There'll be a little trigger here, a little trigger there that takes you back to how it is that you've been able to do what they are looking for.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because as we are emphasizing, it's very important that you're answering the interview questions in a particular order that we can follow, that the hiring manager can follow. I can be able to understand this is the story. You're actually just sort of like storytelling. You're telling us about your strengths, your skills, abilities in relation to this particular job. You're trying to demonstrate how you are a Panadol to our headache.
Exactly.
Because remember, the reason why that JD is there in the first place is because the hiring manager has a headache. They have a problem.
They need you to come and solve the problem for them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the reason why you're here is for us to find out, do you have what it takes to be the Panadol to our headache?
Our headache.
That's it.
Yeah.
So study the JD, internalize the JD, ensure that you can answer the questions in that order, situation, action, results, or background, action, results. Any question that they ask you, please do not give one word, one sentence responses.
Don't be economical with your words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Explain,
speak.
Go deep. Yeah. Explain and go deep.
And quantify your answers.
Exactly. We love numbers.
Yeah.
Percentages.
They speak for themselves.
Right.
So the person doesn't have to struggle now beyond that. So they just want to see when you're giving them the scenario, so you're letting them know where it is you're working. So they're even able to see what was your leadership level at that point when you were taking that action. The person is already processing you and seeing, if you are in my organization, how would you do this? Right. And you want them to see you as a progressive person, not just a paper pusher.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And also remember, when you go in for an interview, we are going to test your ability to think, your ability to think outside of the box, your ability to be innovative.
Which box even? Yeah, like throw the box out.
Yeah. Are you a critical thinker? Because then there are certain questions that they're going to ask you that we are not going to cover.
What's your strategic thought process?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to understand. And when you're giving a response, it does not necessarily have to be correct, but there needs to be a flow. In Kikuyu, we call it motaratara.
there needs to be
a
sequence of how things are being said.
Yeah.
And that star always works.
Yeah.
It always works.
Because like when you're
it
cooking,
confines you from now meandering and losing your thought process.
Right.
Yeah.
Because when you're cooking, oil and then
usually it's the fire needs to be
okay,
on.
the fire.
Yes.
Let's start with the fire
being on.
As a fire needs to be there.
Thank you. I was going to ask you where the oil is going, because if it goes on the fire, then that's a fire. So you see, we need to be thinking through what it is we are doing. We wash clothes before we clean the house.
There needs to be gas.
Yes, there needs to be gas.
In the
Thank you. So you need to have gone to the supermarket.
Yeah.
Either way.
Otherwise, you'll just switch it on and there's nothing.
And it's air. So don't come as a warm body where we say, hey, okay, that candidate was good, but the lights were on, but no one was home. Because you left content at home.
Yeah.
You didn't engage brain. And we understand you may be nervous. We understand that.
Yeah.
But hello, try and engage mouth before you open.
Exactly.
I mean, engage brain before you open mouth.
Yeah, because you'll be cooking and the gas is off. Or you're putting the oil and
you've turned on the other burner, not the one that you are trying to cook. Please.
So
let's cook together.
Let's start. Let's start here, and we'll go. Like
in
step
sequence.
by step.
Yeah.
Very, very important.
I like it.
And then lastly, that you research the organization. Worms.
So tell us why our values appeal to you. First, you don't know what our values are.
Who are values?
Yeah, where are the values?
In fact,
you're struggling and wondering, they were at the reception. There was a nice, beautiful thing at the reception about the values. Did I read?
No.
Did you do your homework?
No.
Did you bother to go online? No. Did you talk to anybody about this organization? Me, when I go, my CV will talk for itself. Wambia ni mimi nimekutuma.
Yeah. This organization, do they provide a service or goods?
Thank
Worms. Because
how are they operating? Who are their clientele?
What is their culture?
Thank you.
So you what's their biggest headache? Who are their competitors?
Thank you.
Have they been on the news? Because maybe
is it a risky
research?
Yeah, is it a risky company to come and join, even for yourself? So you're thinking, you and I have clients who are politically exposed, so you're like, you need to be careful with which ones. But so we are like, this person knows nothing about us.
No.
Nothing. They have no clue, and they're not even bothering to fumble.
Yeah.
At least try and say how we.
At least
you know nothing about us completely. Please know something more outside of your sphere.
Yeah.
You can't be an accountant who doesn't
and it's
know.
Only
accounts. No. Times have changed, people. Times have changed.
It's not possible.
Times have changed.
It's not possible.
Yeah.
Because also, like, when you're coming in, most hiring managers, they're thinking, oh, okay, yeah, he's very good in accounts. Lakini hata akifeli kwa hii accounts, I can throw him, somewhere else. So that you're coming in with an array of skills.
You need to have an arsenal of skills.
Yeah.
You need to be a person who can call upon. Oh, okay. We are having a funds drive. Who in media can we talk to? I don't know.
I was hired for this. I'm just
a recruiter. I don't know.
I don't know.
My friend.
Yeah.
It's not about to try and read a newspaper a day and see what's happening in the world, or turn on your phone.
Right.
Yeah.
So very important. Don't be so narrow-minded.
Vision tunnel.
Yeah.
I mean tunnel vision,
work.
sorry. Yeah, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work at all.
No.
So please research the organization in and out. Just know something. In the very least, if they sell a good or a service, know their competitors.
I can feel your pain.
Can you imagine?
I can feel your pain. And the person is answering you. You're like, okay, can we start again?
Yeah.
Like how did you apply for this position? We start there.
Yeah.
Was the gas available? We start from there.
Yeah.
And it leaves you with such a poor taste in your mouth, because half the time you have spent on this person, you could have spent on another candidate. You could have put that attention elsewhere and gotten you a better candidate.
Right.
Only for you to come and your skills are wanting. Your knowledge is wanting. Yet you have the you have the knowledge, you have the experience, but you don't know how to articulate yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then lastly, please remember that the interview is timed. You don't have the luxury of time. Either 90 minutes or 120 minutes. So remember every second,
or even less,
every minute. Yeah. Everything that you say is going to, everything that you say counts. And for some of us, it could be an interview that you've waited for, like it's make or break. Whether you do well, if you do well, like you're going to get the job. If you don't do well, it means you probably have to wait another 6 months. So please give it your, like you want to give each and every interview your 100%, because it's going to be so sad if you did not do well in the interview just because you didn't prepare.
Proper prior planning, and I'll keep saying this, it's proper prior planning prevents poor performance. I can't stress that enough, because you can tell a candidate who's ill prepared, they are fumbling, they can't find their CV or their notepad, they're beating about the bush, they're inconsistent, they have typos. That person didn't prepare to come meet us, yet the interview panel has prepared and set aside time for you.
Yeah,
it's so paramount that you do your homework before you show up. The interview starts even before you get to the gate. Yeah. And I don't even know why this has come to my mind, but we forget that even how you treated the watchman.
Yeah, even the car that you came with, if you borrowed and we know.
And don't even take me there, because the clients who insist on check if there's a car seat.
Yeah.
So that we already begin to know which stories we are dealing with this person, and okay, that's anyway, an ETC. Yeah. But prepare yourself and be knowing, even how you approach the person at the front desk, how you speak to them. That could be the one day the boss sits at the front.
Yeah, it's him.
Yeah, but you're busy dismissing her or dismissing him because for you to a front desk apana. Yeah. Me, I'm here for my interview. My friend, interview started when you walked in.
Yeah.
We can even review CCTV to see how you were seated at the waiting room, how you were seated or waiting under pressure. Yeah? It's all those things. Think through them from your dress code. But we'll have another one on this one, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
So guys, that's all that we had for today. I hope this video has been beneficial. I hope you've taken notes, and I hope you are better prepared for your next interview. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.
Thank you. Bye.